Hello people, I'm Jaby KOAY, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
Hello.
We're going to look at VISHWAROOPAM 2, the trailer. This is directed by and starring Kamal Haasan and the crap on a stick. The music is by Gibran. Sorry, I thought the music was by Gibran, but I second guessed myself, and then I looked at the credits. I'm like, I can't find it. Yes, that's what happened here.
And Rahul Bose is in it.
And Rahul
as well.
Bose is in this. Yes. We had a conversation with him a couple of times. He's a cool guy.
He is one cool cat.
He puts little girls on the top of mountains.
Yes, he does.
Specifically, Mount Everest. Porna. The movie. Anyway, we're gonna check this out.
Nasar பள்ளிக்கூடத்துக்கு போணும். ஜலால் காலேஜுக்கு போணும். அதான் சரி.
Indian intelligence agencies working with the FBI were instrumental in defusing this dirty bomb.
எந்த மதத்தையும் சார்ந்து இருக்கிறது பாவம் இல்ல பிரதர். ஆனா தேச துரோகியா இருக்கிறது தப்பு. Collateral damage.
Wow. Hello.
That got my attention.
Oh. Oh.
There he is.
There he is.
This is action-packed, man.
Yeah. The hell? Damn. What the?
That was...
What?
This is a...
What? What just happened?
I mean, this is a cool over-the-top fantasy kind of film because there's things happening that are just completely, totally, without a doubt, impossible. But it's cool to see it tried in a film. There was a moment in there that reminded me of a film I saw many years ago called The Big Hit. It was starring Mark Wahlberg and I forget the name of the other actor. There's this moment where Mark Wahlberg is running down this hill as this car is flipping towards him, and I thought it was one of the coolest shots I'd ever seen in my life. And they did a similar thing here where dude flies out the front of the windshield and the car's like flipping after him, and what can you do? Like, it's just that's a scary thought. To be able to fly through the windshield, and be conscious as this thing is flipping after you, this 3,000-pound killing machine, like what can you do? That's just a scary juxtaposition. It's an impossible situation because I'm pretty sure that when you fly out the front, you'll be knocked out, but it's still cool, like the possibility that you're awake and like, oh crap.
I mean, that's why we go to the movies though.
Right.
On the one hand, yes, I appreciate a good story based in reality, but on the other hand, I just want to see stuff that I'm not seeing in my everyday life.
Yeah. The only way I can phrase it is that it feels more fantasy. I know that doesn't seem like the best word for this, but it's like this very over-the-top action to the point that it becomes a fantasy for me. I don't mean that in a negative way. It's very heightened reality. That being said, it feels like it's doing that a lot more here than I remember at all from the first VISHWAROOPAM trailer.
Yeah.
The first one felt more grounded, no like fantasy elements. That being said, I did watch a fight scene from VISHWAROOPAM and it did seem to have this heightened reality element to it, but only insofar as when he turned on the Superman, like he was a badass and he was moving fast. But it didn't seem like it was completely out of the realm of things that were possible.
Right.
Whereas things are certainly out of the realm of like real life possibilities. Within the context of the story though, it's as long as it's like this consistent tone of, the heightened reality, then it's cool.
They did focus a lot on the action, like you said, when we were watching it. I don't know, I don't remember the first movie trailer very, very well, but I remember it being much more dramatic.
And real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wasn't it a story about kidnapping and terrorists or something like that? But
Yeah.
here I'm kind of like, okay, I feel like there's some sort of maybe terrorist element here as well.
Especially
but I'm
in the beginning.
Yeah, in the beginning, it's like they kind of went there, and then afterwards it was like, now check out all the cool actions, including a super cool underwater fight scene, which I thought was amazing. Like, let's just fight underwater, because that's super fun.
Well, they did that in Jackie Chan's First Strike. Jackie Chan fighting people and sharks going by. But he was really underwater fighting people. This was like they were borrowing from Aquaman type stuff, like where I think they were on cables. I got a chance to kind of dabble with that a little bit. I've already said too much there, but I got a chance to dabble with that a little bit, and they weren't actually underwater because it's a lot harder to do that.
Yeah.
It's not as practical in terms of shooting. It's interesting to say the least. But this guy is like, you know, your, dare I say, your classic South Indian superhero, essentially, because he's, you know, one of those guys who's super remarkable. He's very resilient, and he will tackle the bad guys no matter the cost. They will try to stop him, and he cannot be stopped. He is an unstoppable force.
Yes.
Can't stop him. The way the car flipped over was interesting. It's a nitpick, but like it felt like cables pulled the car onto its side the way it flipped. It didn't look like a natural organic car flip. Obviously, for safety reasons, it's easier to do it with cables instead of having to like have a stuntman actually like do a barrel roll. You know, that's just a little thing I kind of noticed.
You want to keep those stuntmen in work.
Yeah, alive. I thought the underwater missile, whatever that was, I thought that was cool looking. I don't know exactly what's going on there. Whatever this is neat. I'm not sure what it is, what's going on, but it's a neat image. There's a line here that's interesting where he says, it's not wrong to belong to a religion, it is wrong to be a traitor. It's a good way to kind of discern the difference between there's nothing inherently problematic about practicing your religion and subscribing to a religion at all. It's when you use that to betray your country or to harm, to inflict damage, and betray your own religion, in essence. That's where the problem lies.
I just like the look of Kamal Haasan. He just looks like a guy that you respect. He's got a good amount of gravitas.
He certainly takes some damage in this movie. I don't know what happened. He's on the stretcher, and he's like messed up. He's brutally messed up to the point that he's got blood coming out of his mouth. He goes through some damage in this, and I'm very curious to see how. As you guys know, I love when my heroes get damaged, because then that gives them a place to have to come back from and improve themselves. Basically, I always call that the John McClane, right? Where the John McClane effect, where, you know, your hero gets damaged so that you can root for them, because if they're impossibly strong all the time and they never get defeated, there's nothing to really root for, you know?
Like Superman.
It kind of just stays stale, but when you see that dip and come back up, your heart goes out to them, basically.
Yeah, because it's very real, it's very human to struggle.
Even in it is, you know, a film with this kind of tone where it's breaking physics, it's breaking the laws of reality. Even in that setting, you want your hero to get damaged in order to recover and come back from that, so you root for him or her. Now, we've said a lot of things. I'm not exactly clear what the story is, other than he's going after a terrorist. Maybe that's all we really need to know. We certainly got the tone, and we got our star. We see his skill set, his strength, how good he is. You get the general style of the film. So it leaves a lot to be discovered still when you watch the film, because I don't exactly know what this story is. I can see there's a buttload of action.
Yes.
I like the overall look of this. I wish it was a little bit more contrasty and darker colors to give it that espionage feel. In general, I like the colors, you know, I like how it's shot, I like how it's framed.
I feel like the colors are more grounded, if that makes sense. They're not too saturated or anything. So even though the fight scenes themselves are quite fantasy, it still has a feeling of being grounded and dramatic.
I like the look of my movies to be a little rough around the edges when it comes to espionage and stuff like that. The one thing I appreciated about something like Bourne Identity is that it had a darker, colder look to it. I don't know, it just creates a feeling. If you watch Saving Private Ryan, for instance, they put the film through this, I forget what it's called like post-processing bleach bypass or something like that. I forget the exact terminology, but basically they took a risk and they bleached the film or something like that in order to create that look.
Wow.
I mean, shooting digitally, you don't really necessarily have to do that anymore, and I'm fairly certain this was shot digitally, so it's easier to play with those looks. But the reason why they did that on Private Ryan was to make it feel older, like you were, you know, watching something that was genuinely from that era.
Right, yeah.
Right? And so with espionage, I like it when they when it's deeper contrast or moodier colors, you know, because you're suspicious of anyone being a traitor kind of thing. That being said, that's another nitpick. Most people wouldn't pick up on anything like that or wouldn't care about that kind of thing, but it's something that appeals to me. At the very least, there, you know, even if the story doesn't turn out to be amazing, it looks like there's some incredible action that we're gonna get out of this film. So there's that to look forward to.
Yeah.
And supposedly the first VISHWAROOPAM is really, really good. People keep asking me to watch it. I will definitely try to watch it. I apologize to all of you guys who have been asking me to watch it. I'm definitely gonna watch it before we watch VISHWAROOPAM 2. So I can promise you that. That's supposed to be a good movie, and hopefully this lives up to the expectations of everyone who's a fan of the first installment. You guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Be honest, be verbose. How do you feel about this trailer compared to everything you know about the first film? Does it measure up so far? Does it make you more excited? Are you disappointed about anything? Tell us all your thoughts, pros, cons, good and bad. Be honest, be verbose, and let us know. Please check out ACHARA KIRK on the social media, and then hit that subscribe button to her Instagram and to her YouTube, and then
Do the same here.
do the same, yes, because Jaby loves you.
Hit the bell.
Hit the bell icon.
Ring Jaby's bell. Ring Jaby's bell. Ding dong.